Hey guys, I'm Lynnie with Sunflower Spirit Tarot, and I am here with a general message. Alright, so what I see is what I'm going to read. And if it does not fit, just let it go. Alright. What are the most important messages for the collective at this time? What do they need to know, see, and be aware of? Spirit guides, guardian angels, benevolent ancestors, those that come to us in and through unconditional love only. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? What do they need to know, see, and be aware of? Most important messages to, for, from, about, and around the collective at this time. From the time they view this video moving forward, what do they need to know, see, and be aware of? Alright. And let's do one more. After that. One more. Alright. 9 cards, please, Spirit, comfort, confirmation, clarity, whatever they need. Let's give it to them. I hope you guys have been well. I have been well. At the bottom of the deck. Ooh, Princess of Pentacles. I like that energy. Curious. Maybe looking to explore, but we'll see. All right. First card out, the Hermit. 7 of Wands. Let's see what else we got here. Just, ooh, okay. I'll keep that. We got the 3 of Wands. We got the King of Pentacles. I'm doing a quick flash because anything I really want to show y'all, I'll just pick it up and show y'all. Center of the spread, we got the 8 of Chalices. Okay. Six of Pentacles. The Sun. The Fool, and the 3 of Swords. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, I'm looking at the way the cards are moving. All right, we got the Death card is the overall energy, Scorpio energy. This is not zodiac specific, but I will be putting any of the prominent zodiac signs in the description below, just in case you guys want confirmation in that way. Let's finish clarifying the Death card. We got the 8 of Wands, 7 of Cups, Princess of Chalices, the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This is mature water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Okay, you could have that in your chart. We also have the Sun here, which is associated with Leo as well, fire sign energy. I don't know if I said Virgo with the Hermit. What else? Yeah, so far, that's what we got. Masculine, earth sign energy with this King of Pentacles. That's Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. All right. The first thing that I noticed right off the bat is the 8 of Chalices at the center of the spread. This talks about leaving something behind that is no longer emotionally fulfilling, but it also, with this deck, talks about going back to something that you do feel connected to. Okay, so it talks about retracing your steps back to when you did feel emotionally connected, or back to when you did feel emotionally fulfilled. With the way that this is moving, it's like you're moving away from this masculine earth sign energy. Okay, so this could be you could be that masculine earth sign energy, but I'm gonna read for the feminine today. All right, because at the bottom of the deck we have that Queen of Chalices. What I feel like is happening is that you're separating yourself from a situation that has not been emotionally fulfilling for you. I know I just said that, but it's talking about a specific person that you are moving away from, that you're resisting the influence of, that you're trying to separate yourself from. You might have recently gone ghost on this person, stopped talking to this person, completely cut this person off. As referenced by this Hermit card, this person may have done that to you in the past, but I feel like that's where your energy is right now. It's like this person is not emotionally available enough for you. Okay, if you're coming up as this Queen of Chalices here, this is somebody who needs a lot more emotional intimacy, a lot more emotional connection. Yeah, this person might be solid, they might be stable, they might be somebody who is structured and disciplined and successful in their own right. They might have, it's almost like this person wanted a plug and play kind of partner. They wanted to build the life that they wanted, and then they wanted the person that they chose to just come in and totally adapt to their lifestyle. And in some ways that is a little bit unfair, because when you're talking about merging the lives of two people, you're talking about both people making compromises, both people making sacrifices. The first thing that came to mind, I don't know if any of you guys watch, I think it is Love is Blind. There was a couple on there where there was a really, this might be a dynamic that reflects some of the couples on there, more than one, but there's a couple that's specifically coming to mind where the feminine energy in the couple, she was so free-spirited and loving and creative and very nurturing. I think she was a teacher or something like that. And then the person that she was partnered with was very structured, very rigid, very, this is my way or the highway. And I think at the end of the experiment, they moved in, or she moved into his house, and he didn't want her to put any of her stuff away or something like that. This was like revealed in the reunion. I understand y'all don't watch reality TV. I get it. I'm just trying to make a point here. It's like this person, the masculine, had their whole life set up, and he didn't want her to be herself in his space. He wanted her, who she was and what she represented, but he didn't want her to come into his space and challenge or change anything. He wanted her to fit into the mold that he wanted her to be in. He just wanted a partner, and he felt like she was probably the most submissive or the most adaptable or the most flexible, but really she was very authentic and very independent and liked to express herself the way that she wanted to express herself. They might have had love for each other, and there might have been a strong connection, a strong emotional connection with each other, but it was almost like that wasn't reflected in their external experience. Like once they came out and they saw each other and they like got together, this may have been marriage at first sight or something. It's one of these reality shows where people don't really have a huge opportunity to get to know each other before they move in together and they get married and all this kind of stuff. And I think she chose to not continue with the marriage because she felt like she was like suffocated in some way. That's what this feels like to me. It feels like somebody who feels as if like, I love you, but I'm not going to completely change who I am to accommodate what you want in a partner. Like, why did you even pick me? Why did you even choose me if you didn't want what I brought? Like, you just wanted me to accept what you have to give. It was like, it was almost, yeah, it was like that. It's like, this is the kind of energy. This person is totally set up. They know what they want. They have their life a certain way. And then they can be kind of controlling and rigid at times when it comes to making compromises in the relationship because they feel like they have to have the control. They need to set things up the way they are. They set the rules, they set the standards, and you're supposed to just live by them. You're not supposed to bring anything that you have into the connection, even though they understand that you're way more emotional. You probably need a lot more emotional support or a lot more emotional connection, or you need to continue to foster that, right? Maybe in the beginning when you guys first met, they seem like the kind of person that you needed, but it's almost more so like a fatherly way. Like they provided that support and that structure that you were really attracted to. But with that comes the inability to kind of free flow or to kind of bring your own essence, your own vibe into the relationship. They didn't want you moving into their house, and they didn't want you changing the art on the walls. They didn't want you picking out your own bedspread. They didn't want you putting up your little knickknacks. They just wanted you to come into this environment and totally adapt who you were to their environment. They didn't want to be flexible at all. It's almost like this person just, they have a lot of love and care for you, and they love the energy and the vibrance that you bring to their life, but they don't understand that that comes with all of you, right? That comes with all of you, not just the parts of you that they're willing to accept or the parts of you that they feel fits into what they already created for themselves. I just see you yearning, longing, wanting more from this person on an emotional level and even with passion, right? They may be the kind of person who's very driven by material success, very career oriented, somebody who doesn't really want to deviate from that because that's where they feel the safest and the most comfortable. And maybe you're not so financially stable. Maybe you don't have everything set up for yourself on that side of things. Maybe you're not as disciplined. Maybe you're not as rigid. And they're trying to force that sense of self onto you when that's not really who you are. And honestly, I would say they probably need who you are. They probably need what you bring, but they are so almost uncompromising in a way because they don't want you to feel like, they don't want it to set a precedent to where you're making all of these changes because that feels unsafe to them. Unpredictability, the fear of the unknown, that sort of thing. This person, I wouldn't say y'all don't love each other. I would not say that you don't care about each other, but what I will say is that maybe you went into this situation a little bit blind in a sense. You thought that maybe you could get this person to open up a little bit more, that you could rub off on them a little bit more. It's like a Dharma and Greg thing. If any of you guys are kind of familiar with that show, it's like this super rigid, structured kind of person with this super free-spirited woman. It's the same kind of dynamic. It's exactly that dynamic that's playing into why this relationship is not working and why things feel so incompatible. It's like because you kept trying to, like, you kept wanting to believe that things would get better or that this person would become more flexible, but that's just really not who they are. And instead of finding And instead of finding somebody who wanted to be imprinted on, instead of finding somebody who wanted to be influenced and kind of who is malleable in that way, they found somebody who is not, who you are adaptable and you are, willing to take on influence, but it has to be in alignment with what makes you happy, what makes your heart happy. And right now, all of their structure, all of their rules, all of their discipline is not what's making you happy right now. And I think ultimately you're deciding to end this relationship, to walk away from this situation that does feel very safe, because this person does care a lot about you, but it's coming off as more like they think that their say, like they're the end all be all. Like you don't really get to have a lot of say or a lot of influence on the way that the relationship works. They want things their way, or you can take the highway, basically. That's how they pose it to you, but they really actually don't want you to leave. 8 of Chalices, the 6 of Swords, and the 2 of Cups. Like I said, once again, reiterating that, thank you for the confirmation, Spirit. You want somebody who's going to see you for who you are, accept you for who you are, look at you in your eyes and share with you and reciprocate that energy, that love that you bring, because you feel like you're not getting that. You're tired of arguing. You're tired of fighting. You're tired of fighting for your spot in this person's life, because it's like they only want you in it if you're willing to bend to their rules or their structure, things like that. I know it's repetitive, but that's really ultimately what it is coming down to. It's like, does this person have a lifestyle that reflects what's already in alignment with you? Even though there are some ways in which this person has benefited your life or even expanded your perspective, it's like it almost feels oppressive or suppressive to be in a relationship with this person. It's like you can't really be who you are because they only accept certain things, and they cherry pick what they want from your personality, as if you're not a whole person who comes with a lot of things. They might not accept that you're moody sometimes. They might not accept that maybe you are melancholic, or maybe you are such an emotional person that your emotions inform a lot of your decisions. They don't understand that. This person is very practical and very logical. And I think that your presence in their life maybe shows them that they're not as connected to their emotions as they thought they may have been, or they thought they were. 3 of Swords. I think that this hurts a lot for both of you. I think that, to be honest, I think you know that you're done, but this person is almost like, oh, they'll come to their senses. The feminine, they'll come to their senses. It's not about man, woman. It's just about feminine, masculine. The masculine is like, oh, the feminine will come to their senses. They'll come back. They'll come crawling back to me, because this is where their bread is buttered. This is where, they should be biting the hand that feeds them, as if you weren't a fully grown, mature person before you met them. Yeah, maybe you don't have the same financial security and things like that. Maybe you're not as solidified in your career path as they are, but that doesn't mean that you're any less of an adult, or that you shouldn't be responsible for making your own choices. Clarifying the 3 of Swords is the 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. I feel like you've been with this person for a long time, and if you haven't been with this person for a long time, if you're not like married, you guys are cohabitating, then this is the fantasy that's being broken, is that you guys could create this, that you guys could be on the same page as life partners for a long-term relationship. I think that you inspire this person, you touch this person's heart, but that is not their priority in a relationship. It's almost like they just want somebody who's going to be excuse me, on the same schedule as them, walking the same path that they walk. All right, let's clarify the Sun. The World. Yeah, I do feel like you possibly have children with this person. You might even be pregnant at this time with this World card. I just see this as representing the end of a cycle. It's like, this is repetitive. This is repetitive over and over and over again. You guys keep having the same arguments, and it may not be about the same specific thing as far as the details, but it's the same argument over and over. It's a power thing. It's like the power dynamic is so off, and it could be because this person is so financially well established or well established in their career, and they're like kind of lording that over you, as if that's a reason as far as why you can't have a say in this relationship. 3 of Wands. We have the Wheel. Like what am I saying? What am I talking about? Waiting for things to change, waiting for things to shift, waiting for that power dynamic or for things to become more balanced, but it's just not the way it goes. This is such a repetitive cycle for you guys, and it is so repetitive that you now have your guard up in a place where you should feel comfortable, where you should feel like you're at home, where you should feel like you're at peace. At one point, there was harmony within you guys. within this dynamic, within this relationship. But it's like something shifted. Either you got married or you moved in together. Something changed to where you saw this person in a new light. And that started to trigger the arguments, the dysfunction, the dysfunctional cycle that you guys are in. Well, like this is how I see this cycle going. The masculine, here's how we're going to do it. The feminine, well, maybe could we do it this way? The masculine, absolutely not. This is the way that I found success, and this is the way that we're going to do it. The feminine, well, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it my way. And the masculine feels defeated or feels disrespected, and the feminine feels like suppressed and that she's not being heard or being seen. That's what all of your arguments are, essentially. When you boil them down to the essence of it, that's what you guys are arguing about, and that will not change. And you have continually put yourself back in the situation. You may have left or walked away from this person before, and that might be why they also feel like, oh, they'll come to their senses. They'll come right back. Because they offer you something that you feel like you need. And I do feel like it comes in the form of material security or financial security. And they know that that's their only bargaining chip when it really comes to you. But now you feel like your passion is being drained. Like you don't really see this person the same way. You might not even be sexually connected to this person anymore or feel intimately connected to this person anymore. It's now become like some sort of weird business arrangement where it's almost like you need them, they know you need them. And so that's why they're not going to change, because they don't have to. Because they don't feel like what you bring to them is a priority in a relationship. Once again, go where your talents and your skills and your gifts are valued, because there is somebody out there, if you choose to seek partnership from someone else, who will value the things that you bring. And maybe they're not your normal type. Maybe they're just as, financially unstable as you are, or something like that. Maybe this is more reflective of somebody who is accustomed to having a masculine provide for them in that way, or somebody who did not have that growing up and who craves that security and that stability. And that's why it's so hard for you to let go of it. So either you were raised to believe that this is how things are, even though it's not aligned with your personality or your sense of authenticity, or you didn't have this kind of security and stability growing up, so you cling to it, hoping that this person will change, but they're not going to change. They are very much rooted in who they are and in what they want. King of Pentacles. And I think that's what you've realized. 9 of Pentacles. This person doesn't need you to further their career, to enhance their material, their financial success or stability. They can stand on their own 2 feet. And I feel like it's almost like they use that against you. Like, well, I don't need you anyway. You want to leave? Leave. I don't even need you. Like, how dare you threaten to leave? How dare you walk away from me? I don't need you. And every time you've walked away and come back, this person respects you a little bit less and a little bit less and a little bit less, because now the power dynamic or the power has shifted in their favor. And now they can, like I said, lord that over you and hold that against you, as if, like, once again, you're not a real adult or you're not a mature adult. Maybe you have passions, ideas, crafts, things like that that don't necessarily feel mature or grown up to this person. And I think that they use that to try to make you feel as if like you're less of an adult or you're less of a grown-up. But I will tell you, if this is an age gap relationship, this is pretty common for age gap relationships, and this is why most of them don't work out, because they don't see younger feminines, these masculines who are established and successful, they don't see younger feminines as having anything else to add to their life except beauty. That's all they really want from you, is beauty. They want you to smile, they want you to look pretty, they want you to look handsome, and they want you to go along to get along. They just want you to be a piece of arm candy or a trophy wife. They want you to be the trophy. You know what I'm saying? They don't necessarily look to you to add anything else besides that. Maybe they think you're kind of funny, maybe they think you're a little charming, maybe they think, you're intelligent in your own way, but it's like they don't see you guys on the same level, and so they won't respect you on that level, especially if you keep walking away and coming back. I think this time you walked away and you're done. I think that you are resisting the urge to put yourself back into that delusionally optimistic idea that, oh, if I go back, then if they accept me back, then that proves that they love me and we can just foster this whole romantic emotional connection. It's just not going to happen that way. There's something that you're clinging to that you've already experienced with this person that is not going to reemerge. As long as you're in a position to be provided for by this person, to not be able to stand on your own 2 feet financially or materially, then this person knows that, and they're going to use it in their favor and against you. And like I said, once again, the Death card is the overall energy. It's time for you to walk through this portal on your own. It's time for you to stand on your own 2 feet. It's time for you to recognize that you're never going to be happy under this person's tutelage. You're never going to be happy under this person's direction. They want a specific kind of person who's going to get with their program, and they think that you think you're above the program or that you're bigger than the program, and maybe you are. But if that's the case, then this relationship is just not compatible. It's not going to work out. So if you've already chosen to walk away from this, to let this go, Spirit is encouraging you to stay on that path, to not look backwards, to keep look in front of you. Yes, there's a fear of the unknown. Yes, you're not sure what's going to come for you next. You're not sure what's going to happen now that you don't necessarily have this person's support. But it's important for you to figure out who you are and what you want on your own. This person is going to continue to use their power, their success as a way to influence you to live the life that they want to live, not necessarily the life that you want to live with them together as a team. They don't see you as a partner. They see you as more an accomplishment, right? Or a trophy. Well, I hope this was helpful or enlightening in some way. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.